Hi, it's with Tacitus today. Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about a number of supposed surveys that I've seen where usually in activist type journals or in well-known activist type media outlets where they're saying that surveys have been done in the third world and they've gone out and talked to all these illiterate peasants. I mean, I doubt this very much, but and the numbers of these peasants that say they want to come to the West is huge. So, just looking at the age range 18 to 35, which is what they claim is the sample there, but I don't know how rigorous that would have been. But they're claiming that somewhere between sort of 1.7 and 2.1, 2.2 billion in some cases at this very minute today want to come to the West right now, want to come to the West. Now, if you add, say, the ages of 16 to 40, then you can add another few hundred million on top of that, and 50 plus million each year thereafter. So there's 2 billion illiterate third world peasants that want to come to the West today, right now, and again 50 plus million every year thereafter. So over 20 years, then we'll be looking at an excess of 3 billion people want to come from the third world to the West. Now, these aren't the doctors and the engineers and scientists and rocket scientists that we hear about. These are all illiterate peasants that want a better life, and they've all got a relative or someone they know from the village because of the mass migration that's already taken place and has been forced on us by the globalists. They already know someone or someone who knows someone who's gone to the West, and stories come back of things that they can scarcely believe. You mean these white people, they put you up in a hotel with running water and electricity and internet, and they give you money, they give you a phone, they give you everything, and they give you food, and all, that sort of stuff. You mean that's true? That really happens? And so they're thinking, wow, what a cushy gravy train this is. So their minds have been filled with these images that similar to the sort of the medieval rural peasants of Europe, where they, the streets of London are paved with gold and that sort of thing. Dick Whittington and his cat and all that. So they've got this view. So these surveys claim they've got this view that all they got to do is get to the White West, and then all these goodies and all these handouts, all these entitlements, and you don't even have to work for it. They'll just give it to you. Oh, there is a heaven on earth, and it's called the White West. But they're very simple people. Many of them have got sub 100, even sub 90 IQs. So, and there's a Pakistani man who was interviewed, sort of a few of them that have been interviewed when they get to France or Europe, and they're feeling quite hard done by, because they're saying these United Nations paid agitators, whether they're sort of employed via NGOs or whatever, that they're employed to go around to these simple illiterate peasants and say, and remember, these are people that have never been out of their village ever. They've got no concept of time or distance or anything like that. And so these agitators go in there and say, no, the White West, you've only got to walk for 2 days, and that 2 days, that's all. Just walk 2 days in that direction, you'll get there. Wow. And now to conceive of 2 days walking and this sort of stuff, again, it's out of their realms of comprehension. They're simple people, and they don't understand maps and relative distances. So, it's only 2 days. And this illiterate Pakistani peasant was complaining that it took him 6 weeks to get to the West, and he complained, if they told me it would only be 2 days, and we saved up in the village to give them some money, these agitators, and all bribes, and the guy of course has been on an arduous journey, but everyone along the way adds to the myth of, no, it's only another day, just one more day, go over that. And so he kind of goes along thinking that it's always going to be around the next corner, and finally gets to Europe weeks later, and it's been not a particularly pleasant trip. But even that though has been enabled by the globalists and the NGOs and the United Nations. He would never have made it anywhere without all the enablement logistics that are in place. The coaches to drive him from here to there, the boats to move him around, the food. He was fed and clothed and given water to drink and shoes to wear all the way along. All that stuff was given for free. And again, he could never have done it without that massive support infrastructure. And neither could any of the others. It's only that support infrastructure and the agitators and the stirrers and the propagandists that actually make any of this possible. Something else that I hadn't sort of factored in recently is the amount of teachers and school officials and village government officials that have been bought off and bribed by the globalist machine to go around to these rural villages saying, hey, guess what? You can go to the West and you can have all these things for free. They'll give you a free house, free education, free everything, hot white chicks and give them the whole spiel, and they go, oh wow, I'm heading off there. But all these people are paid agitators and stirrers. That's not natural. That wouldn't happen naturally or organically. These people are actually paid to spread this nonsense among the illiterate peasants, to egg them on and encourage them and facilitate their movement to the West. But where would all these people go? If you say that over the next 20 years, 3 billion black, brown peasants are going to move to the West. Well, the population of the West, that would effectively triple the population of the West. So in that case, you'd have the population, say the white population of Britain would be would increase to 250 plus million over that time, or more if you consider natural birth rates. But white people would be, given current trends, say 45 million of that. So approximately 300 million, say, in Britain, and white people would be only 40 to 45 million of that. So a very tiny minority, small minority in their own country. And it's a country that's now overcrowded with visitors. They're not natural. None of these people have a Christian religion. None of these people give a flying fuck about local customs, culture, or habits. They're bringing in their own shit, and so it would turn Britain into just an ungovernable, seething mass of I don't know, out of control, discontent, endless rioting, and it would just become a third world hellhole. And it's difficult to imagine that there'd be anybody that would see any sort of need to support their communities or their nation or their populace or anything like that. It would just be tribal conflict wall to wall, just sort of like it is in Africa at the moment, and always has been in Africa. So this is the thing that they're now. The globalist sort of propaganda machine go, well, there's 3 billion want to go, 2 billion, 3 billion, doesn't matter the number. They want to come. Well, why not? Of course they can come. Why shouldn't they come? They only want a better life. And are you against little black girls having a better life? You fucking Nazi. So they're meant to come. Now, you talk to the people that support these sort of ideas. Yeah, it's okay if these people, well, why not? Why not? And they don't live in the areas, or not currently, they don't live in the areas that are affected by this. So you talk to the wealthy people in their tree-lined streets and their entry-level $5 million homes and their expensive private schools, their $150,000 motor cars that they're driving, all that sort of stuff. They live in the yachts that they have on the harbour, and they live in a lifestyle and in places that aren't affected by this. The only people, third world people they see are the ones that come to mow their lawns and as cleaners, or to clean the swimming pools. And, those are the only time that they see these people at all. So now, when you actually sit them down and talk about it, or you're in, say, a car drive where you're traveling, for a little while together and you're just chatting, and they'll admit that they want these masses of people to come in because it's a source of cheap servants. Like, it creates a servant class that they can access at any time they want for shit money, pay them limited money. And these people, so they can get, for example, say they want someone to do their cleaning or clean their pool or something like that. They can easily get people to do it, but they have to pay white people to come and do it. So if they want to pay, chump change, the white person goes, "No, I'm not interested." So they want enough of these illiterate third world peasants so that when they offer chump change, there'll always be somebody who'll take it. And so they think that the more peasants there are, the cheaper the household help can be, or cleaners. Get someone to come in and clean the house. They want a cleaner to come in once a week or once whenever it is, but they only want to pay a certain amount of money. Like in a big house, so we only want to pay 100, for example. They only want to pay $100, and they can't get cleaners, white people, to do it for $100. Now, they only have to pay $140 for the white person to do it. And this is a person who's a multi-gazillionaire. So why would they give a fuck about an extra $40? But suddenly value for money, and it's all important, and the principle of the matter, it becomes incredibly important when they're employing a cleaner. Yet they'll go out and burn $1,000 on eating dinner out at a restaurant. Just a few of them, 3 of them will burn $1,000 without even thinking, without even considering it as an issue. But when it comes to paying a cleaner a few more dollars, we're not doing that. Those damn fucking peasants, we're not paying them any more than we have to. So they could pay 140, they could easily get some, but they don't want to pay 100. So they're prepared to wait or to go without, or to until they can find someone who's prepared to accept 100. Invariably, the people who accept $100 for the cleaning job will be illiterate third world peasants. So on that basis, I say, well, illiterate third world peasants are a good thing because they'll accept the shit money for the cleaning or any other job, mowing the lawn or whatever it might be. Now, you sort of driving along in the car, and they'll come out with things like, no, I want lots of these peasants, but I don't want them anywhere near me. I don't want them in my neighborhood. I don't want them anywhere. I don't want them dating my daughter. I don't want them anywhere near my son's school, the expensive private school. And so on. I don't want them in my shopping centre and this sort of thing. So as long as these people keep well away from me, I don't mind, but they're welcome to come here. Well, what about the white people who aren't as rich as you, who have to put up with all that's their lookout, that's their problem. They're just peasants anyway. Peasants are peasants, doesn't matter what colour the skin. Equality among peasants is fine, just not equality with me. Hey, let's have some standards here if you don't mind. So this is very much the thing. I don't want those people hanging around upsetting my wife. And fuck. And you can't believe how detached these people are from the reality that, okay, well, at the moment, these third world peasants aren't in your neighbourhood, but they're coming over in such numbers that it won't be long before they are. Not only are they going to be dating your daughter, but raping your daughter and this sort of stuff. So, is it going to be only a problem then? And if it is a problem at that point, can you unwind it? Can you then, turn the clock back to a time when that wasn't the case, and so on? Yeah. But they just talk in globalist. They could be. They just talk in Klaus Schwab talking points. They speak in Klaus Schwab talking points or United Nations talking points. No, but there's no one who can do the work here in the West, so we have to import peasants from the third world. There's no other way. It can't be done anyway. It's the only way, and we have to have lots of them and that sort of thing. Well, why among these people, unemployment is 50%. So why do you think they're a solution to the lack of workers if the unemployment rate is so high in those communities? Oh, that's just because, blah, 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 and they just talk bullshit. And again, the third world talking points. So do you believe the world is changing, or climate's changed because of, climate change, big issue, huge issue, Armageddon around the next one. All right, then you're bringing these people in from the third, you're condoning the bringing in of these people from the third world, well, they have a minuscule energy footprint. Then you bring them to the first world, where they have a much larger energy footprint. Now, you say that energy consumption is going to result in Armageddon for the world, or for the planet. Why would you have so many millions of people coming from the third world from a small energy footprint to a large energy footprint? Isn't that making the planet end? It's not the same. Are you a fascist? Are you a Nazi? Yeah, are you Hitler? And so they get all defensive and won't sort of realise the contradiction within their own position. But this is something that I've noticed more and more. And this idea of these third world people want to come to the West. They should be allowed to come to the West. The West is morally responsible to accept them because they want to come. They want to come. They're entitled to come. And if you've got a problem with that, you are a fucking Nazi. So with this sort of backdrop of a justification for mass migration is simply that people just want to come. And if you have borders and you want to stop that or limit it or pick and choose which people come, then you're Hitler. And that's the end of the discussion. And that's how it's going to be. And so there you go, you damn white supremacist fascist Nazi. You've been fantastic today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.